on the internet. Awesome. Okie doke. So, first off, a big thank you to everybody for participating in this year's Global Game Jam hosted by the University of Tulsa. We really appreciate your participation in this event, and it's been great to see everybody working together on these games over the weekend. I've loved seeing all the support that you guys have given and just how friendly and collaborative you all were this weekend. So, big thanks for that. And also, congratulations on getting. I looked it over here. I believe we have 7 games that we were able to produce here, and that's pretty good. Congratulations to you all. And I can't wait to see the games in action as well. So we'll get started here in just a second. How the presentations will work is basically we'll just ask the team to talk. Maybe one of you guys can set up a stream of one of you just playing through the game, or if you want, you can even kind of go into the editor a little bit and show us, how you created what you did create, because that's always fun. And so it'll be real informal. It doesn't have to be anything too in depth, and don't worry about creating a speech or anything. It's all in good fun and for to showcase the game that you've made. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start out right at the very top. It looks like we got Journey of Peregrine from the End Games. Would somebody like to present, or maybe your team can pipe up and say who you all were? Do we have Journey of Peregrine in the chat?
It looks like they're inside the chat, like the written chat, not the voice chat.
Yeah, they're in general.
Oh, I see. Okay, great. Yeah, no worries. Would you like us to come back to you? Okay, awesome. And don't worry, we will come back to you guys in a little bit, because I can't wait to see what you guys have made. On up next, we have Lost and Found, a memoir. It looks like Blixa submitted that one, but I'm sure you guys have a whole team. So let's hear all about a memoir.
Does somebody want to take it away?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if you wanted to start it or I can.
I'm so sorry. I've been talking with my mic muted. I just explained what was going on, and then everyone's talking over me. Yeah, I was actually saying I was going to have one of the other team members stream it, because from Linux Discord, you can't hear audio on streamed games. Don't know why. It's a known issue. They never fixed it. Woo, go Discord. So if someone else wants to actually start streaming it, that would be great.
If you give me just a moment, I have to, I think, run the executable file. So give me about a minute while this downloads, because I only have the playtest version, not the one we submitted. So give me like a minute, and then I can run it and show it off.
So while he's doing that, I will say we did manage to launch this game for all 4 platforms, major platforms. So we've got Windows, Linux, Mac, and the web. There was a little bit of work done to try and make it mobile compliant, but we never got the touchscreen functions implemented. So technically it'll run on a browser or on a phone if you plug a keyboard into it.
The most we only saw.
Yeah. Some interesting things we ran into as we were going through. One of the most recent things was Mac is really hard to deploy games for. Like, really hard, because we created the package and we tried to load it, and the signing environment around Mac just made it impossible. So, yeah, deploying games to Mac, very difficult unless you have lots of money, apparently.
It's a fun time.
Yeah. So,
who was on your team for this jam?
So we had DeChalis and Doubts. We had Good Enough. There were who else was there? There was
Brennan.
Brennan Crowder.
We had Tanner, which
Yeah.
or Neversoft21. If you saw him in here, he did voice acting for us.
Yep.
And then I had an outside friend last minute because we realized while developing it, we changed some of the story elements around, and we ended up needing a female's voice. And off the back, that was kind of hard to find, like very last minute. So I messaged one of my friends who unfortunately is not registered. She just did a single line for us, so we managed to get that in. So that was fun. So I think we had like how many people working with us?
I think
5 or 6.
7. I counted 7. I think with the female voice line.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Cool. Voice acting. Okay. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
So I just got the zip file, so I'm dropping it. I'm gonna extract it.
I'm just watching to wait for you to watching and waiting to see you start streaming. In the meantime, a couple other interesting, so we used our base game engine was Godot 3.2.2, latest version. And then on top of that, all the art assets were done with Photoshop.
Everything was done with
the music, I don't actually know. DeChalis knows what he
The
used.
music was done in FL Studio.
FL Studio. The voice acting was recorded and edited using Audacity, and the tile maps were generated utilizing a program called Tiled. And there we go.
Can you guys actually hear it?
It's coming through great.
Perfect.
Cool.
So as he's playing, I'm going to talk about some of the interesting things we ran into while playing the game. So one of the first things is this game is set up in areas, specifically because loading it in a web browser would just crash if we tried to load. Sorry, I wanted to pause for the voice set for the.
I can wait till you finish before I pick up something.
Yeah. So trying to load every area at once would just bring a browser down because of the memory requirements. And on other systems, it wasn't necessarily guaranteed either. So this actually is 8 areas, and they dynamically load as you pass through them.
I'd say the hardest part about this was honestly getting the theme right and working through the narrative. We changed the narrative like 6 different times.
Yeah.
In some cases, changing that narrative was down to we tried to do something that was technically complicated, and just skipping it was a lot easier than trying to break through that particular technical hurdle, since we already had so many. These lights were a last-minute addition, and also posed some interesting issues because you can see the light effect covers everything, and that includes little images that pop up periodically. And so, for instance, at the very end, well, I'll explain what happened at the very end when we get there, because.
So, a really fun thing, talking narratively, we really wanted to focus on the lost and found aspect, so we tried to include that in the base narrative, as well as some of the gameplay. These maps are actually kind of a lot larger than you would think. And unfortunately, I realized we don't have a whole lot for the player to do, but there is a lot of space to navigate and get lost and explore it. And I think that accomplishes the goal pretty well, too.
You should show off some more of the barriers. So this has been an interesting point. Go down to the bridge first. So when playtesting this, even with other developers, we ran into an interesting issue, and that is, go ahead and show them what's past that.
I have to
further down.
Go down there. This is a little confusing because the text pops up at the top just before the barrier is shown, that little cloud, and so our playtesters would get lost in this section because they would catch that and then go up around and forget to come back down to this.
Routinely, like every time.
Yeah, it happened multiple times. Players got lost in this section more than they got lost in the maze. And yes, there's a maze.
And that is totally my fault. I made this level.
I'm trying to get to the end as quickly as possible. So you guys may have noticed the text, and I'm going to try my hardest to explain it. In short, as you guys may have figured out, you're missing memories. And the goal of this game is to track down items, and you were lost, to recover those memories, so you're no longer lost. And see, I just forgot to do the thing that they were talking about. So, ideally, what you're seeing in these texts is you recovering your memories and saying, oh, well, I'm recovering things that I lost. So, if I can find the rest of the objects, I'll explain it as I come across those objects, but now that I'm playing through it, I'm seeing so many things that we did wrong. Insert placeholder text here.
Did we have a insert placeholder text somewhere?
No.
Okay, good. Had me worried for a moment there.
I'll
You
pop
should
into
show them more
mention.
the barrier texts, because you keep skipping them straight to the items.
Whenever I saw,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. Whenever I saw an earlier version of your game, there was some placeholder text, and I just thought that was really funny. So I got what you were referencing.
Yeah, so from a technical standpoint, each of these items is based on the same element. And so that it wouldn't just produce a blank box and be weird, we actually have the blank box default to placeholder text. So if something doesn't have text, it comes up as placeholder text, which, if there's an error with it, looks a little better than, a blank box being weird.
Also, if you haven't done the maze section of this, you're getting an early cheat code right here, so you should pay attention.
So one of the things is there is a twist in this game. At a certain point, you'll discover it.
We kind of wanted it to be players have these items, and you have to kind of make the conclusion yourself by keeping track of the text, and what you're saying.
It also doesn't help if you go straight for the items and avoid the barriers. Sometimes those barriers explain why the item's important. So, it's a game where if you miss it the first time, the information could be a little bit more useful the second time around.
Okay, so this is actually another glitch or problem.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Those lights, they just shine over everything. They don't care. And there's a way to set that up in Godot, but since those lights were implemented about 2 hours ago, never got a chance to find that answer. So there's definitely some bugs and technical fixes that need to go into it. And we also would like the game to be a little longer. This is how long we got just in the time we had. Alright, here's the cool part. This took a little while to get right.
So if you can tell what your shadow is, you're not exactly a human. So the idea is that we were supposed to have it fade, but you're supposed to actually be a teddy bear that was left behind, that was so attached to the child that you have developed your own kind of soul, and you're tracking down your memories of said child. And that's the concept.
Neat.
And that's that.
So in effect, you're also something that is trying to be found.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. That's a good twist. So I also wanted to ask about something else. The audio for the game. I really like this track that's kind of just going on loop here. Who made that?
Oh, I did.
Oh, awesome. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
speaking of the music, one of the things we tried to do, and due to technical limitations, ended up having to scrap at the very end. Technically, the audio can be it uses dynamic audio. So as you're traveling through the game, the music's supposed to layer up on top of itself as you collect items. Unfortunately, there was no way to release that for Windows because of the way the original library for it was packaged. But we have separate tracks that get played together, which is one of those interesting things that we tried to work on and get fully set up. I'm actually still talking with the developer who made that plugin to get a plugin properly packaged for every platform.
So
yeah.
that's go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to add, you'll notice there's a voice and music slider on the front. At last minute, when I realized the audio on my computer is not aligned with the audio on other people's computers, we threw that in. That is surprisingly easy to put together. It takes a line of code. So if anyone ever wonders what it takes to build audio sliders into your game, one line of code in Godot.
So
I just thought that was interesting.
That's about it. That's our game.
Well, awesome. Very well done, you guys. That's a monumental achievement right there. Well done. Does anybody else have any questions about it? Any additional comments by the developers?
I think we missed a good opportunity to have more stuff to do in the game, but I guess that's just notes for next time.
How did you guys do the art style?
So with the rule applied that we were able to use assets, we took some assets and I took it in the Photoshop. I did a lot of color correction. I did some editing, and I created other pieces based off of that asset tile. So I would take like the bridge and I would create variants like broken bridges, stuff like that, or I would take the rocks and brown them and change them around a little bit. I originally created lamps, but those honestly did not make it in. A, I couldn't get them to look the way I wanted to, and B, I think having those orbs floating around, I think that created more of an aesthetic because I wanted it to feel kind of gloomy. Because Lost and Found made me think of kind of the idea of a spirit being lost. I'm not sure where that idea came in my head, but it eventually popped up. And having those darker tones of blue really, I think, makes the feeling of it feel mellow. So that's how we got that art style. Is we really just focused on those blues and brown overtones, and then the yellow for highlights.
Yeah, well done. Between the color palette and the music, I definitely had that gloomy feel while playing it. It was good.
Yeah, the Chalice was awesome for the music, like killer.
Well, to be honest, like I couldn't. If you guys didn't decide on the concept and have it kind of, I guess, like resonate with me, I wouldn't have been able to come up with that. So, shout outs to the team, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Really cool concept and well executed too. I think the aesthetic to me is like my favorite part of it. It just really it works together very well. So yeah, big congrats. Okie doke. If we don't have anything else to mention, I'm gonna pop on over to the next person here. You know what? Let's just get right back to Journey of Peregrine. Are you guys set up now? Maybe yes, maybe so. Oh, it says, yeah, it looks like we may not be able to show our game off. But if somebody else wants to boot it up and play it, that would be awesome. Interesting. Well, you know what? I can probably pull it up. 1 second. I'll see if I can. This. Just 1 second here. I'll try to pull up Journey of Peregrine for us all to enjoy. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Oh. This should work. Okie doke. Can everybody see this?
I see it.
You see Unity.
Awesome.
Oh, and I can hear it. Cool.
There it is.
Great. Okay, so for me, the music is really loud, so I don't know if I'll be able to hear anything. So while we're going along, I just might make some comments, and then whenever we get to the end, we'll have a little bit of a question and answer session. I hope you guys can hear me, because I can't hear myself. All right, let's hop right into it. I'll give everybody a second to read this. I like the music, by the way. That's very cool. Okie doke. I'm gonna hop in. Alright, I am a little sword guy. How will I proceed? I can battle or run. Well, I think I'm gonna battle the sensitive rock. Okay, that's really cool. So it's a turn-based combat system. Okay. Alright, so it's kind of like a turn-based strategy game almost. I'm gonna battle another one of these sensitive rocks. Although I don't know if I'm gonna survive this. I'm just gonna run. Okay. So I'm not really sure what the objective is of the game yet. I'm just kind of running around here. I just noticed the general has some... Oh, healing spot at the blue and white. Oh, thank you. Okay, great. Alright. At the blue and white. I'll see if I can find that. That is purple. I'm just trying to dodge all these rocks.
It's where you first started.
Oh, great. Thank you. It's a new day. I'm off to attack more rocks. I really like the sprite work on this, especially the magic sword. That's really cool. Man, I don't know if I'm going to survive this. Oh, finally. Okay, awesome. I need to heal again. So, if you guys could post into the chat something to discover in the upper right. Okay, great. I was gonna ask kind of where I can proceed here. Alright. Upper right. Oh! That certainly is something to discover. I'll give you guys a chance to read all of this. Art of insultation. Okay. Alright. Oh, let me check the chat while everybody's reading up here. I've gained a new power. Okay, great.
Just so you know, every time you switch to Discord, it switches away from the game on your screen.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. I think I heard what she said. That was it goes blank whenever I go to Discord, right? I'll remember that and just pop back and forth quickly. Okay. Ah, I can insult. All right. I like the humor aspect of this a lot. Ah, neat. I'm gonna battle a few more rocks and then go back to the shield guy. Oh, I got a message in the general. I'm gonna hop out of this for just a second. Something in the haunted forest to the west. Okay, great. All right. This guy has some great insults. All right, I'm gonna heal and then run over and battle. Let's see. The healing area is down here. There it is. Okay. Something to the west in the haunted forest. I assume this is the haunted forest. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you for playing. The magical turn-based adventure. I like it how Peregrine's finding his inner confidence by insulting other people. I feel like that's a interesting moral lesson there. Neat. Is this a bad guy? No, not yet. Okay. Well, that is very cool. I'm going to mute that for just a second so that I can hear again. That is the journey of Peregrine. Very well done to you, your team. I see that Julian, well, it's all one word. I think it's Julian Delez Dernier. I see that you were kind of helping with this project, but I don't know, is anybody else kind of on that team? I'm going to exit out of that now. There we go. Let them post that in the chat.
Does anyone have any questions for the developers? Like, well, my question would be, what tools did you use? I know we saw Unity, but what other tools did you use to make the game?
Yeah, that's right. And I'm curious about the once again, always curious about the audio. I appreciated that there were like multiple tracks that it shifted between. I thought that was really cool.
I have to admit, I love like the soundtrack you guys had. I was kind of vibing to that.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, all right, this is good. This is jam. Ableton. You know what? I think I have Ableton. Haven't used it in forever, but yeah. No, that's good.
I have a question. Was the insult attack, was that inspired by Monkey Island insult sword fighting?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. By the way, Secret of Monkey Island, amazing game. Have you played that? Because it's so good. I love the insult mechanic.
Yeah, I love those old LucasArts games.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they used Krita and GIMP to do the art assets.
Oh.
How did you guys come up with the concept?
That's a good question. Looks like once again it's the result of several iterations of ideas, but I guess that's really how the game development process works. It's great.
I want to like compliment and say I love like the potential to be very funny with this game. I feel like some of the humor you included in there, like the sensitive rock, that got me. And then the fact you could use insult as an attack. I think there's a lot of room there to really take that into bonkers hilarity. So I think that's really well done.
Yeah. It's like you guys took the mercy system in Undertale and just kind of like turned it on its head, and I really appreciated that. I agree.
Yeah, I have one more question. How many people were on your team for developing this?
Just 2.
Wow.
That's a lot of work for 2 people. Dang. Well done. were all of the art assets handmade by you guys as well? Just another quick question. Dang, I'm impressed. Well, well done, you guys. If you have any more questions, it looks like they're available to talk in chat as well. But I think I'm gonna hop right along here to the next game in our list. It looks like we got Cash Out. So the Cash Out team, would you guys like to take it away from here?
Sure thing. Hello,
Yep.
I'm Dakota, and I worked with Logan, Adam, and Aiden. I supported Aiden in helping with the art and sound, and Logan and Adam handled all of the programming with the game. Cash Out is a game where you play as a young man searching through fields for treasure with your trusty metal detector. And the player can move around the level, and when the metal detector gets near, goes over a treasure, it'll begin to beep, and that's how you locate where the treasures are. He's going to do a demo of that because my screen share and streaming tends to crash my Discord. So each level has a set amount of treasure in it, and once you find it, you can go to the next level. There's also, I believe, a button to let you skip to the next level if you can't find anything. There's trees and rocks that kind of scatter around the field to prevent you from getting to certain portions. I'm gonna join in here real quick. As we'll see in a second, once you finish finding all of the treasure in a level, it'll automatically take you to the next level. And each level is randomly generated, but every level is always possible. Additionally, if you look in the top left corner, you can see the time remaining on each. And every time he picks up a piece of treasure, it will prolong the amount of time you have. And the game keeps track of your score by items found and total number of areas cashed out.
I see. So, I saw earlier in development, you guys had kind of mentioned making this along the style of an arcade game, and I can certainly hear that in the music and the art direction. And so is the time remaining also kind of an aspect of that arcade-like gameplay style?
I would say so, yes. It really kind of drives the player to find each of the items, and that's also how it determines kind of the score at the end, was because when you run out of time, that's when the game ends.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is a really neat kind of a solution for a direct application of Lost and Found.
That was the
and
gin,
I
Sam.
love the idea of the metal detector. It's really cool.
No.
So,
I don't know.
that's really cool.
Just tired,
Can
so
you
I
also
just
mention how the what's the word? How the algorithm worked for you to decide how to randomize it while still having treasure in every level?
I am not sure how that works.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
yeah, you asked about how we randomized it.
That's right.
Yeah, we've
Oh, just one
Yeah.
second. Excuse me, Hamuel. I might be muting you. I think you're still on.
I just did it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he knows.
Yeah. I think I think I can just server mute him. Yeah, it's a hot mic. Hopefully you can see that.
Yeah. Right, yeah, we've made scripts to procedurally generate the each level. And it's like it'll based on the current score, it'll create a different level size, different number of obstacles, and number of treasures, and then randomly distribute them.
I see.
That's actually really interesting. In case I missed something, what program did you use to come up with that?
Oh, it was Unity.
That was all developed in Unity.
Yep. I don't know about the art and sound. That's for Dakota Naden.
Nice. Dang. You know what? I also liked. I think this was the first game we've seen today with kind of dedicated like sound effects and stuff. Maybe there was some in a memoir too. I can't quite remember. I guess voice acting is kind of like a sound effect.
You had a very faint paper sound. That's about it.
Yeah, that's right. But I liked how the sound effects, it made it feel very much like an arcade. How the sound effects almost were a part of the music and just fed right into it. So yeah, I love that direction. That's really cool.
What drove the art direction? Did you what inspired it, and what tools did you use to make the art?
Logan was kind of our idea man, and he has work at this time, so he's not currently able to join us. But he had like this really kind of set idea with where he wanted the game to go, and I think that really kind of appealed to the rest of us. He had the idea of what the character wanted to look like, and we knew it wanted to be arcadey, so that kind of drove to the 8-bit pixel style. For the actual images, it was kind of a mix of, I think we used Aspirite, and then I used Paint.net because I couldn't get Photoshop to cooperate with me. For the audio, I know was made with some of the sounds was I used, I think it's called BFXR, and then the background music was some royalty-free music that I found. I think the art direction went really well because we had 2 different people working on it, and the style, I think, worked really well together between the background and the obstacles in the player model.
Mm-hmm. I loved how colorful it was, I will admit. Well, very cool, you guys. Very well done.
Do you mind if I throw in a comment there?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, I had a lot of fun with this one because I used to have those old like portable arcade machines, so it kind of reminded me of like the digging mini game from Link's Awakening, but also meets Dig Dug meets like Frogger. So it was just really fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you're right. There was something that it reminded me of, and you're totally right. It's digging from Link's Awakening, or kind of any of those mini games where you're like, you have to find where to dig. That's just fun. Great concept. Great direction there, you guys. Super cool. Are there any other comments for Cash Out? All right. If you think of any more, I'm sure you can drop it down in the general chat, and they can talk away there. I'm going to hop on over to the next one. It is Sir Holden Steel and the Frequently Lost Sword. You guys can take it away.
Okay, cool. Thanks. This is Jeremy. I don't know if everybody else from the team is in here. I see some of you. If you have stuff to say, jump in too, but I'll do a little demo here. Let me get up and running real quick. Mm-hmm. Whoop. Just a second.
Sure. While you're pulling it up, I just want to ask, where did the name come from? Where did this idea come from?
Well, the idea was when I was thinking about the lost and found thing, and I just kind of thought about literally losing, just dropping something and having to pick it back up. I thought that would translate into a fun mechanic. And then as far as the Holden Steel, that great pun came from C. Hollingsworth, who wrote all our dialogue and narrative, and a lot that didn't make it into the game because we didn't have enough time to do more levels that we had planned and things. So he wrote a lot of great stuff for us, and that was one of the first things, and I just added that and made that the title.
I love it. I have to appreciate a good pun. All right, sorry,
Yeah.
Continue on.
Oh, no problem. All right, so am I live? Looks like it.
Yep.
All right. So I wanted to have a little tutorial that kind of let you see how to play without having to completely explain everything. So we put up these little things so you can run faster if you hold down Shift or button. The jumping mechanic has a lot to it. It's the first thing that I really worked on. I wanted it to feel really good. Where, like Mario, if I just tap it, I jump not as high. I can hold it and jump higher. I can double jump and jump higher and have a lot of control. So we get here and it shows us how to use our sword. Oop. And what happens when we use our sword. So that's the main mechanic of the game, is having to find this sword that you keep losing. So here's an example of the great writing. It might be a little small to read. There's a great little nod to Shovel Knight in here also from our writer. And this will auto start if you don't make it. All right, so you're in the dragon's lair on his horde, and you're gonna have to fight him. That tail is dangerous, so I'm gonna wait for him to maybe turn around again. Oh, but he might not. It's kind of random whether he'll turn around or not. There we go. Oh, those claws are dangerous too. Don't want to hit those. So you gotta use that digging mechanic and dig down. Ah! Oh no. You might get me. Oh no. We'll try again.
Encore! Encore!
All right. This start button, I wasn't originally going to use buttons. I kind of was testing it all with gamepad, but then I realized when it's in the browser, you need to click on it to gain control or to hear the audio. So I went ahead and put a button in there to encourage somebody to click in the browser. All right, let's get through it. You don't especially have to do this, but fun. Take another shot at him here. And you can't skip this, even though it's great, and I don't think you should. All right. I'll get him this time for sure. Ooh. If you're standing too close and he does turn around, the hitbox on that tail comes suddenly, so... a little bit... oh no, not close enough. I might not win. Well... Tell you what, I'm going to switch to the editor. So let me try to...
start God mode?
Yeah. Let's see, if I do this from the editor, will it show the window if I play a scene? We'll see. So let me...
No, if you launch from the editor, you have to manually switch your stream to point at the game instead.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
what I'll do then is I will just I'll just basically show the animation here of if I had one. This is we would have got this different ending. With another bit of writing over here. The dragon says, "You've bested me. Promise me one thing, despicable knight. When you take my gold, whatever you do, don't let it go to a hedge fund manager. They're the real monsters."
Wow.
Oh my god.
Another bit from our writing. All right, I would like to. Let's see.
Pop culture there.
I'm gonna open something else real quick. Oh, I can change windows. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's much better.
I really love the art style. Can you tell us a little bit about the art and how you guys came up with that look and feel?
I'll just hand it over to the designers if any of the designers want to answer that for us. This is what it looked like in development. This was how we tested it out, and then I replaced it with the art that our designers gave us.
I have to admit real quick that this would have been really interesting too. The art style, very arcadey.
Yeah, it looks like a Atari 2600 that I grew up with.
Yeah, it
There's-
almost feels like those old Homestar Runner Videlectrics games. If you ever played like
Yeah, yeah.
Burninator, oh yeah.
There's also there's a Homestar Runner joke in the game too that I don't know if no, I didn't make it in because it didn't fit, but the dragon mentions burninating. Actually, it may be in there.
That's awesome.
And let's see, I'll switch windows again. All right. The little Atari looking demo that I did there too, something to mention about that is you'll notice that in that forest level, the sword can get stuck up higher in the trees and you have to do a little more platforming. Had we had more time, that would have been the direction, is different levels would have different environments that would present different challenges about getting that sword back besides just dropping it to the bottom of the gold hoard. But we had 6 people on our team. All the music was a really great benefit. Again, that writing is great. We had one artist that did the dragon for us and one that did the knight for us, as well as an environment designer. Some of the elements didn't make it in, again because of time to get them replaced in there, and some of those are just things that I put in place. But it all looks pretty consistent and came together, I feel like.
Yeah, it all looks really consistent. That's one of the things that I was actually about to mention. Is I am not quite sure how you guys made it work, honestly. I love it how the background scrolls at different rates according to kind of the layer that it's in. And I just thought that was really cool. It was a good effect to put in because it made it actually feel like you were traveling.
Thank you. Yeah, in Godot, that's actually really easy. There's just a parallax background that you can put different layers in, and then you can put different pieces in each of those layers, and then the layer itself, you just basically set a speed that you want it to move at. It's a little tricky to place things in a way that they're going to show up where you want them as you move, because they don't look the same. They don't look like they're the same place in the editor based on where you're walking around. So trial and error there.
Yeah, I want to interject and say that I think Jeremy was like the glue that kind of put everything together. I came up with the knight and I did like a couple designs that would be a little bit faster to implement because it was kind of like a time crunch. So I did like a sheet of like the different designs. And if it was like we wanted like a Valiant knight, and I think the second design kind of stood out with like the mustache and like the pointed features.
I was about to say, I love the mustache.
I think we all liked the mustache. I think that's what sold it. The other ones.
Yeah, the mustache is great. So then I took, I basically did a finalized mock-up to see what it would look like, finalized, and after that we took it and just kind of broke it down to different parts so that Jeremy could rig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had originally planned to try to do bone animation for the dragon too, but the dragon was a little complex, and our team was flexible, and I already had all those pieces that they had drawn for me, but then asked them to go ahead and make some animations for me, some frame by frame, and they got that done, so we were able to put that in there. I did use those pieces to make that mangled version of the dragon that falls if you beat him. So
yeah, that's another part that really stood out to me. I really enjoyed how everything felt like it was moving. It wasn't just like static. It had animation, and it felt alive. They kind of moved in realistic ways, and I appreciated that. So yeah, I don't know. That's really cool. Does anybody else have any comments? More questions?
I just gotta say, in the most nice way possible, frustration. I sat there for like 5 tries, tried to kill the dragon, couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah,
The sword, man.
for as simple as him just jumping back and forth is, it's still. I think the main thing is being under that and those claws being able to hit you from above if you're on a different layer and you've got to move quickly between those layers.
Oh man,
Or,
that'd be
like I said, standing too close. If he decides to turn around, you don't really get a warning. That just happens, and then that tail hitbox is on you.
It's the Dark Souls of game jams.
Yes.
Am I allowed to throw something at you on that about the mechanic? It might have been really cool to maybe give you a couple items you can collect and like toggle through after you lose a weapon. Like you can have like a slingshot, and then you use it, and the slingshot goes flying off in the other direction, and you have to like pick what items to pick up.
That would be a cool idea. Definitely, if we go forward and build on this, there would definitely be more that we would add. In the picture,
You should have a shield.
The initial picture of it I had in my head, he would have carried a shield, and when you weren't carrying a sword, you could turn to use the shield in different directions to try and protect yourself until you pick it back up.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I know the initial art style was gonna be a bit different, like a more medieval sort of thing. I think it'd be interesting, like when we have more time to dive into that.
Yeah, my again the initial picture I had in my head would have looked like the Terry Gilliam animations in between, like in the in between parts of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
No, but seriously, I love the mechanics, though, guys.
I think you should put a shield that'll protect you from one hit, then go flying off. You have to find it again.
That'd be
That
pretty
way-
good.
That's a great idea too. Yeah, just let him drop everything.
That way, you've got a savior mechanism against that tail.
Kind of
Yeah,
like the old platform games.
Yeah, like a two-step thing. Like if Mario's big, then he's small, then he's dead. Give you one extra hit. That's a great idea too.
Yeah.
You'd have his health bar be his armor, and his helmet comes flying off. He's
have to go
just
pick
in
it up.
boxers. Yeah,
It's kind of like
That's neat.
Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins style.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think that might be the best part about this game as well, is that you have such a great foundation for additional mechanics to build on top of, kind of like armor flying, or, you know, I almost wonder if the sword itself could be used like a projectile. Like, I mean, wouldn't that be cool just to like chuck a sword at something? But I don't know. It's just a really cool idea, and I hope that if you guys get the chance to continue to build on this, I hope that you can look into that, because I don't know, it's really cool. I like that game. It's fun.
Well, we do have the Godot project. I did upload it all to GitHub, so anybody can download it and toy with it, or if we go forward, we'll do it from there, and try and contact through there and contribute to it.
Yeah.
Whoever did the dragon work, I saw some of your concepts. Do you have any more work you can share on that? This is kind of a side topic because I like your art style.
Nope. This is my first time trying anything like this, so I did a bunch of concepts. They're somewhere lost in the design part of our lost sword thing. And yeah.
Wow. Wait, so this is your first time working on a project like this?
Yeah, I'm a freshman.
It's really
Impressed.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow.
those dragons, they look great. That's I would never. Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah.
Speaking of first times, I'll also mention this is the first time I've built anything in Godot.
Oh.
You're kidding me. Get out
No.
of here.
I've kind of looked at it for a while, and I used Unity a little bit years ago. I did this game jam 2 years ago, but I built everything with JavaScript because I'm a web developer, and JavaScript's what I use every day. But a couple weeks ago, I watched a tutorial series on Godot and decided to give it a shot with this.
Wow. Well,
Oh
I
my
will say,
God.
If you don't mind me asking,
Paid
what are
off.
your thoughts between Godot and Unity?
When I used Unity, I didn't use it very much either. I haven't really completed a lot of stuff with it. I do like the ease of this script, of this GD script over C Sharp. If I built something more complex, I don't know if I would run into the limits on that. But this was I feel like this was easier to jump into, in my opinion.
Okay.
Nice. Well, does anybody have any more?
I'd also like to.
Sorry about that.
I was going to say I'd like to point out that if you listen to if you play the game, listen to the music with headphones because it has lots of bass that the laptop speakers don't produce.
Oh, yeah. Wait, we almost won a game without me mentioning the music. I loved that you went for that kind of like medieval style with the but what's even the word? I don't know. It just felt medieval. So well done with that.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of the percussion going on in the background.
Yeah.
Kind of sold it for me. Yeah.
I listened to like several hours of medieval music to figure out how it's supposed to sound.
Oh my gosh. You have like a SoundCloud link you could drop in?
No, I just searched YouTube.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, the music was excellent. There's 3 tracks throughout the game, and they're all fantastic.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed putting those together.
Make the levels longer just so you can hear them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, in case everybody's just in the call right now, if you go over to the general event chat, there's a lot of cool kind of design documents and stuff that you can look at if you're curious about how these games were made. I find it super interesting, so definitely check it out if you get the chance. Great. So congratulations to you guys. That's a cool achievement. And I have to say, it looks great too. So let's hop right on to the next one. It looks like the next up is The Return of Chance by CB Showtunes.
Well, and team. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just hop right in. So I'm going to go share the screen real fast. Good. Okay. So our game is about this dog that I guess is lost inside this forest, and he has to get out and get home, pretty much. All right. Can everybody see my screen well?
Yep.
I can see it.
All right. And is the audio coming through pretty good?
Kind of quiet.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Let's try to bring this mic a little bit closer.
Are you streaming a screen or an app?
I am streaming the screen.
If you stream the app, it'll pick up any sounds coming from it.
Oh, okay. Well, go out there then.
So yeah, while
he's stop screen,
we had 2 programmers, Caleb Braggs and Matthew Mosby. We had Samuel, myself, and Michael Hackney working on audio. And, Fig, who's not here, and Jordan McDowell, they did the art. They made that Shiba dog, and there's a raccoon sage that encourages the dog to find his way home. So that's a little background on that.
All right, is it coming through now?
Yeah. You guys said you did the art for this 3D work?
So yeah, Fig did the art work for us.
Oh, that's killer.
Now he did some crates.
Yeah, a couple of these crates right here, and the dog right here, and there's a house over here that he did. A couple of these are like free assets that you would get from the asset store in the Unreal Engine marketplace, like these trees and this house right here. But let's go ahead and get started.
What happened? Chances are falling. You are lost. You need to be found. Your master is looking for you. You need to go at once. warn you. I am Kinsman. I am an aid to those who are lost and need to be found. Chance, don't fear the heights. We must go upward. Chance, this forest contains various dark animals and also obstacles. You must be very poignant when trying to conquer them, Chance.
Caleb, the audio's like echoing.
It's echoing a little bit.
Yeah, you got a bit of a hot mic there.
Chance, do not look into the dark, but face the light.
So yeah, he's made his way through the forest. Now he's got to like Frogger style get across the road.
I'm doing a terrific job, as you can tell. Ooh.
Oh, this is stressing me out.
I know.
It's
Aren't there
bumper
a
to
few
bumper.
too many cars?
Oklahoma drivers, am I right?
Yeah, the traffic seems very heavy.
Can't you just wait until rush hour's over?
Yeah.
I mean, there is one spot where rush hour is over, but
I mean, it's almost 5 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, those are some mad road crossing skills.
Just looking at all the double cars stuck together as he goes across.
oh god,
This is like the dragon. I don't know if we're gonna beat this.
Can you
On a
can you
stream.
move vertically?
there we go. I think I found my spot.
You did this perfectly earlier, Caleb. You got
Well, I
this.
got the stress killing me now.
No pressure.
Is it a set pattern or is it random?
It's a set pattern right now. All right, let's try it here. We got this.
Oh,
Up.
this is exactly how it feels trying to get to class in the morning.
I should probably
Yeah,
put.
I
Like,
feel that on a spiritual level.
Well,
Oh, you can jump.
it's not helping.
You need to add a hidden overpass or something that you can get around.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, you can jump over the car?
Some of the cards you can. All right, let's do this carefully this time.
This is the one. I feel it. Maybe the next one.
Maybe the next one. There we go.
Close.
Come on, Caleb. You got this.
Hey, I'm shaking right now. I'm shaking. Oh god.
All right. Well, it is beatable. He's done it every other time first try.
I think it's just because there's people watching.
Yeah.
That's right.
Too much pressure. There you go. There you go. Oh.
I can swear that car was not inside here when I first built this game.
Someone else is gonna go to class and work.
You were so close.
We're almost there. I really feel like this is the one.
How many lanes is this highway?
Six.
There's like
17?
Matt. How many lanes are there?
No, I think there's like 6 lanes total.
That was almost. Well,
That's more than 6.
Well,
There are more than 6.
There's 6 just in that first section, that first grouping.
So, what's supposed to happen if you were to succeed?
There's an ending cutscene. That's it.
Yeah,
This is the last
that's
level.
a cutscene.
Awesome.
You get to you cross the road and you make it back home.
Well, if you want to keep on trying at this, I have a few questions for all of the developers here.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So first
I imagine the road is just strewn with roadkill right now.
yeah. Is this road based on a real road?
No.
There's no dead dogs in this
I'm
game.
just gonna say Okmogi. That's enough said.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. So this is developed in Unreal Engine?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Of course, I have to start with the music. I think I've noticed at least 3 distinct tracks so far. There might be a 4th. As always, I love the direction taken with the music. I thought the first part was especially perfect for that kind of setting of a beginning of a journey almost. And you guys had voice acting too. Who did do the voice acting?
Chance, you're near the end of your journey. I've seen you triumph once before. Don't give up. You are almost done.
That is not 6 lanes.
The voice acting was done by Samuel Hamuel, the guy who had a hot mic earlier.
Hot mic.
Yeah, he's exceptionally talented with the voice work.
Yeah.
And then the audio was done by Michael Hackney and myself, and it was a lot of fun putting his voice to some motivational music or sad music.
Yeah. The way the two worked together was really cool. So I noticed there's definitely a story about the dog being lost and found. So what is the ultimate story direction that this is going to take? Or is that kind of like a mystery,
That's basically it. He's lost and he's on his way home. It's inspired by Homeward Bound. And then once he gets across the street here, he's made his way back home.
Awesome. Oh.
So I know you guys said you used some free assets, but you also did some of the artwork. What tools did you use to make the artwork?
So that would be Blender.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I heard somebody knocking on my door just a second ago. I will be right back. Continue the discussion without me.
Yep.
I saw there was a sign that said made in Unreal, or it said Unreal on it, and then there was another sign later on that said Unity, and I was just like, is that like a misdirection?
So that right there was like our sponsorship sort of thing going on. We were just like, you know what, we need to get all these sponsors inside there, as many as we can, Oh God. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna skip out on that one right there.
Okay, I do gotta ask, is there a trick in the first area to getting up the platforms? Because it looks like you can't quite jump from the 3rd to 4th platform.
Oh, there's a wall jump.
Yeah.
There's
He
a
can
wall
wall
jump? Oh my goodness.
The dog can wall jump.
Of
Okay.
course he can.
Well, I mean, it was asked by Andrew right there. Of course.
Is that really a dog?
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and show you the little surprise that Andrew and, Mike decided to go and throw inside there as well at the very end. Let me go ahead and share that real fast. Here we go. Boom. All right, so we're back inside the main menu, right?
Right now I can see it looks like a hall manager.
You can see, okay, let me pull that up. Oh, Lord have mercy, I opened up the wrong one.
Whoops.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, here we go. Close, you guys. Boom. There he is. Okay. So we're back in, right?
Perfect.
Okay, so this was a little surprise that the boys decided to throw in at the last minute.
Well, we had to have a credits section.
All right, well, that's about it. If you guys can make it to the end, congratulations. You'll get to see the actual ending.
Beautiful. I love that. And brilliantly composed, by the way. Yeah. Parting comment that I just thought of. Nobody was at my door, by the way. I really appreciated that you guys mixed the kind of platforming style with kind of the Frogger style of arcade gameplay. That was fun. And just had those 3D environments encompassing it all. It's just really cool, neat stuff, and very professionally done, by the way. Yeah, amazing. We have some top-notch stuff here. Okie dokie. Next up, we got looks like Charles with Lost Amongst the Rocks. Charles,
hello,
baby team.
I'm by myself. I will declare. Let me share my window or my screen. I'm doing that mostly because the intro has a little bit of eye blinking, and you can't see it if I have to try to link or try to share the window immediately as the game opens, because I don't have a menu screen. So I'm just going to play. And this is the entire screen. The entire game is where you got a bunch of rocks, and you are lost or stuck on a deserted island, and you need to make something so that the plane that's flying overhead will see your message and then come pick you up. So I'm going to make an SOS because that is what I've been making this entire time. I see other people tried help, which should work. But there's a whole bunch of rocks, and you just got to move them around and hopefully create some sort of recognizable message out of it. Oh no, got to get more pieces. The bottom of the S, and you got to get that. Uh-oh, I've run out of these pieces. I have to recycle them. Uh-oh, the plane's not here. Oh no. I'll steal one of these. So I have some extra things I can slap on and make it look a little better. Let's see. Come on. Gotta finagle it a little bit. Oh, and I'll just make this a little bit nicer looking. So hopefully that looks like a message I would write if I was stuck on a deserted island.
Yeah.
And I will also say the other reason I'm using the editor rather than the final game build is because then can you see this? The
yes.
console? You can see what the character recognition algorithm is finding. So it's set, say, get one. Oh, it's landed. It recognized it.
It's landed. Wait, can you show us that editor or the console?
We can't see the console.
Oh, right. Well, I was trying to show the plane, and then the plane moved out of the way. And so this console is it's showing the word it thinks it is and how confident it is. And above a level of 45, it will do anything. Basically, I have it set up with a dictionary. So if you make any recognizable word that's like 3 letters long, the game will think, oh, you actually have created something that's recognizable. I also have pre-programmed in a couple of phrases like SOS, help, ayuda, and other stuff. But it was just a fail safe so that if someone wrote some sort of message, it should have been picked up. And we just click the plane and the game ends.
Wow. Impressive. Wait. Hold on. Keep that council there. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
That's what I was hoping to look at.
Let me make it bigger. So, I did it all by myself. I didn't want to bother with other people with an idea that I was like, I'm not, or with the idea that I might not actually be able to participate for whatever reason. And I was just like, I want to make a game that's less about finding lost things and more about what lost and found could be as just a extension to the concept. And so that's where the whole being lost in a deserted island, I had the idea of, having okay, you have rocks. Sorry, I keep moving things around. And then you have like palm leaves and sticks. You need to bash the rocks and sticks together to make fire. And then you put the palm leaves over the sticks, over the fire to make smoke. And you could have this whole chain of things going on. But I also really like the idea of just, you have to create a message. The problem was I had no clue how to detect whether that message was like something valid or just complete gibberish randomness. Which is when I started looking up OCR, or optical character recognition algorithms, and found that there was a port of Tesseract, which is a old OCR algorithm library, and found it had a Unity built a plugin for it. So I just found that and integrated it, and it was actually fairly simple to get working, all in all. But that was the fun part of the thing, was realizing I could just have an OCR and I don't have to have all this, puzzle solving. It's just you make a message and hopefully the plane comes over and finds you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think I mentioned this to you in yesterday's optional presentation, or maybe it was some other time. But I love that it's a different take on Lost and Found, where you are actually what is trying to be found. So kind of similar to our first presentation with the titty to be found. It's just another take on that, and I love it. So really cool idea, and OCR too. I didn't know it was this easy to integrate into Unity. So that's super cool. Maybe actually, if you have a link to what you used,
I can pull it
awesome
up real quick. Unity.
So is this game, is it just made for a PC build? Because I can see a lot of applications kind of as a casual mobile game.
So this one I made a desktop and a web build. Full disclosure, the web build, the OCR is just broken and I didn't have time to debug it nor desire to. So I just set it to after 3 times the plane flies by, it'll land. But most players who will just move stuff around, they have no idea when that plane is going to land. So they'll just, okay, it finally recognized my message after 2 flybys or something. Which is a cheeky way of subverting player expectations of the algorithm actually working. Yeah, no.
That's actually really creative for the time limit.
Well, it's also true that I could have just done that and not even touched OCR to begin with, and it would have probably worked for 80% of you players.
Of course, it's also very easy to end up in the situation of just having a jumble of rocks and the plane lands. It's like, I guess it didn't do anything.
That's why that's the 20% of players who didn't try to, or didn't figure out the idea / want to break it, which is always fun, but
you could just say that the plane flew over a second time and saw the rocks had moved and knew that they don't do that on their own.
Oh, it's true.
It's a good point.
But yes, it was. I couldn't get it working in web, and I didn't want to bother trying to make it work.
The other thing is you have to full screen the web, otherwise you don't get the whole island. You just get a small section of it.
Oh, I thought it was mostly full when I played it.
When you first load it up, the sides are cut off, and sometimes rocks end up on those sides and become inaccessible.
That's interesting. Because I have it bounded. Oh yeah, okay. The bounds aren't okay. I see. I'm playing it in the web browser now, and I see what you mean. It actually does have a little bit of a bounding area. I don't know if you can see the thingy. Okay, there's this thing here. This if I do Q, there. Okay, yeah. There's a little transform here which defines the actual playable area, and it seems that the web browser cuts it off, so it should be further in. But oh well.
Well, I think that specifically itch does that because you need to set your game size correctly on it.
Yeah, this definitely was I did this in an hour because the upload was taking forever, and I was like, uh-oh. I used Krita for the art, so this is my own background.
That was all handmade?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's really good.
Wow,
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you had taken that from the store or something.
No. I was hypercritical of it when I was doing it because I was like zoomed in really far, and this is what I was seeing as I was painting. It's like, oh, that looks ugly. Ugh. And then I zoomed out and went, it kind of looks like a hill in the distance. Yeah, that'll do. And left it as is. Krita's brushes are what saved the bacon on the beach here, because all of this is a brush. I just went, bah, and it came out looking pretty nice. So
that's awesome.
If I had an actual artist, and because I'm a programmer, so these game jams are really just an excuse for me to do art stuff. If I had an actual artist, I would have tried to. I would have hoped that we would try to figure out how to get crashing water on the shore, but that was not within my purview of I know how to do that things. So yeah,
wow. Excellently done.
Yeah.
This is
I
cool.
think it might be. I think might be nice. I know that you have it where you could spell out any message, but maybe even try to have like a limited amount of rocks, and then have the players spell out a specific message each level, and you could like continue on more of like a puzzle game, like fitting the rocks into position. That could also be a further development thing.
Oh, like I guessed the right word in other words.
I mean, you could have a banner flying behind the plane. So instead of being a jetliner, it'd be a Cessna with a how you can pay them to fly a message.
Yeah.
It'll be flying across, and it'll be like it would be like a riddle or something.
Or just even like you had with the S, you had certain rocks that were only long enough, so you had to, like, the message SOS would be there, but you only had so many of the right size letter or rocks to go into a specific position. So that could be an option as well, even kind of playing with that mechanism where the player doesn't have to think of the word, but they've just got to puzzle out what pieces they have in order to spell that out.
The banner thing makes it sound like the person was kidnapped and then dropped on the island, and they have to solve that in order to escape.
That's true.
I was gonna say in
thieving
wise, I see one person, Curacil, has mentioned turn it into a horror game. That's an interesting direction to take it. I like it.
There would have to be a lot more work for the OCR to actually hand tune it, because when I was first doing it, it started getting things like, oh yeah, this is in Cyrillic or other languages, and just lots of accents, and very, if we look at the console here, come on, you can see that it's coming up with words, but that was only after I set it into the single line of text mode. This OCR is meant for like scanning books, so big blocks of text, not individual words or individual characters as much, especially with the wonkiness. I will say how I did it, because that actually is a little bit interesting. So Tesseract, I have a little script here, and you can actually have it print out what it thinks it is, but that's going to the console here instead of into like an actual image. But you could put it as a text in a screen. But the way I'm getting the scene into it is I'm using a second camera here, and if we look at the preview, it's all white. But if I play, let me do this. No, stop. Yeah, let me make this bigger. If we play the game, you can see that there's this white box here with all the things in it. And if I start moving things around, you'll see that that's being updated. What I'm doing is I'm using the Unity render to texture feature to render the scene into a single image, and then feeding that into the OCR algorithm. And that took a bit of finagling to set up, because this background and the plane and anything that's like the visual decoration needs to not be in the scene. So there's a bit of layering going on where like let me pause the game and go to 3D mode. There's like there. The main camera is looking this way, but the OCR camera is a bit forward of that. And so things like the plane are actually... Wait, no, I didn't use layering. I used these layers. That's right. You can use layers here, and so I have a rocks layer. So only things in the rocks layer get rendered to the off-screen buffer. That's how you did it.
Nice.
Yeah. I tried to use layers, and it didn't work. Or I tried to use like 3D depth stuff, moving the camera back and forth, and it did not work.
Yo, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the amount of like ingenuity you had in 48 hours.
This is really cool, man. For you not having a whole lot of help here, this was insane.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely is hacked together. Like this, I don't know the animation system of Unity very well, so that blinking animation is just I'm manually lerping between the bright and dark. And the plane landing, I set some control points and found some Bezier curve code to move it, and then pulled things together from various Stack Overflow and Unity enhancers form posts.
Oh, like all the
Dude, I genuinely think that a lot of people in the industry do a lot more of hacking things together than you think.
Oh no, I know
when
very
make
well.
Characters, I create in 3D when I do character works. I have base models that I pull in and then I work from there. And I've created things like hands and I reuse those all the time.
Well, I say that more because the OCR stuff wasn't actually that hard to get working. It was all the other like just events and clicking and moving around that I found more hacky, which I find funny. Because the sophisticated algorithm's the more interesting thing, but it's actually way more rigid than everything else.
Mhm.
Anyways.
Wow.
Any other questions? Any other concerns?
No concerns.
It's very clever.
Mm-hmm. No concerns, just me being very impressed. Yeah. That's awesome. That really is.
Thank you.
And now, to finish up the day, our last game to try out here is by Felix the Catfish, the sound designer, and possibly team. Felix the Catfish, you want to take it away?
All right, yeah, I will.
Catfish.
So, our game's basically about you're working in you were just repairing your car, you're working on your car, and then you drop your socket into your car, your socket wrench, and then you basically just have to tear apart your car to find it. All right, and you're doing a little kind of weird things with your car because it doesn't make too much sense what's in your car, but anyways, so let me pull it up. Here we go. Can you all see that all right?
I think it's still... It looks like it's still loading for me, I think.
Okay.
It's just like a black screen. But maybe if you click on it, it'll start running.
Yeah.
It's still a black screen for me.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's try that. Does it work now?
I think I still have the black screen.
Yep, I'm seeing a black
screen. Yeah, it's
too.
black.
Same for me, Theo.
Okay.
I can see your cursor though. Like I saw your mouse.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Let me try closing it and then opening it back up.
Yeah. Discord can be really weird sometimes.
Yeah, I know. All right. Open it back up.
Black screen.
There. Can you guys see it?
No.
Nope.
Not quite.
Yeah, same problem.
If you try not closing the stream, but in Discord, click on the share your screen again, it'll let you choose a different window, I found, instead of exiting and re-entering, if maybe that's it.
Yeah. that might be worth a shot.
Change windows. I don't know. I don't know if that fixed anything. Does anybody else want to try and share it?
Seamus, do
share
you
it.
want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right.
So I didn't really build the main menu, so it kind of just starts immediately up when I pull it up. But here, let me exit out of this. Discord. There. Yep. Okay. Can you see it?
There we go.
Okay, so basically, this is a bad example. But basically, there's a socket hidden within this this car here, and the objective is to uncover it by pulling these parts off. Different parts, will like take more to take off. Whereas like a small one like this comes off pretty fast. You just toss it away. Different pieces are worth different points. If you hold close by, it'll come off eventually, but it comes off faster if you hold it farther away. And so I ran out of time to have to retry. And there's also two power-ups in the game. There's the grenade, which should pop up right about now. It just causes a big impact and destroys some pieces and damages them. And then the other part, which should come right now, is a sledgehammer. So you like bash pieces off like that. And then there's the placket that you're trying to get a hold of, and you click on it, and you win. And different points for different parts, and it gives you a total at the bottom.
Awesome.
And then just retry if you want. That's it.
Was that a accurate representation of a car engine?
Any way, shape, or form?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't know the difference.
It's randomly generated, so no.
How much horsepower you got in there?
Making about 3,000 wheel.
Oh man.
3 engines and 5 turbos and 1 cooler. How about that?
It looks like you got a couple of sheep in there too. Just,
and 12 intakes, 1 out exhaust.
I think losing the wrench is not the biggest problem here.
So if you get, like, I guess you could say good enough RNG, technically you would just end up with 1 engine, but usually you end up with like 10. So
if you're lucky enough, your car will be built right the first time.
Can you guys tell us about how many people were on your group, and then also the tools you used to make the game?
Yeah, I can take this kind of. So we had 3 people. Me,
pull it up again.
Sam, and Seamus. All right. I'm the sound designer. Seamus was the programmer, and Sam is the artist. I guess I'll let them go over their kind of programs they used and methods and such first.
You can go first, Seamus.
So it was kind of nice having like a group of 3, like a programmer, an audio person, and then an artist, because it seemed pretty nice, like nicely spread out. So basically, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of funny because the 2 biggest problems I had with making this game were kind of in the beginning, which made me a bit worried. And I spent like maybe like 6 hours on the 2 of them, and it was basically at the start I wanted to get like a spring joint to pull the pieces off instead of just like having them shake. But Unity springs are I've never been able to get them to work properly. and they just like fly all over the place if you make them too taut. And then the even bigger issue I had was Unity also had on mouse over, where I posted this thing in the chat once where it's just like it detects if your mouse is over a certain object, but if there are two objects stacked on the top of on top of each other, it's almost random which one gets picked, which is a huge problem. Because then you can click on the socket while it's covered up by like three other things, and I could not figure out what was wrong with it. So instead, I just did a raycast, and that worked out better. It just generates a random set of pieces at like predetermined locations. I think I had 20 spots, so 20 pieces spawn in. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. I really like once again the direction you guys took. I think that's really kind of funny that having worked a little bit on cars but not very much, that's a very relatable thing to lose the wrench or a screw and just drop it away, and that's the worst.
Especially the 10mm one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
I think that's
uses
specific. That's like specifically the one we put into it.
Exactly.
This is the one we're finding.
That's why I got my snake cam with a magnet on the end.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We briefly considered. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. I was gonna say, I guess I'll go into kind of how I did the audio. And this is pretty interesting. I used a combination of Audacity and Pro Tools. Audacity to record and Pro Tools to mix, since I can never get Pro Tools to record anything on my computer. But basically, all of the music and all of the sound effects were just manually recorded. It's Foley and just actual instrumentation.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even the sound effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it, and we
Yeah,
set
me
up a
and
little booth in his laundry room.
Yeah,
and
me and Sam
just grabbed a
Friday
bunch of
night.
stuff from the garage and dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty fun.
I'm impressed. That's
I helped
And
too.
the I
Oh
did
yeah,
the,
you did help.
Yeah.
So we had
I-
a 4-person team, I guess.
Yeah.
Technically.
Who's the other?
That's just my friend. But anyways.
Yeah, she helped us do the Foley.
Mm-hmm.
you guys had three people on audio engineering. That's awesome.
Technically, but anyways, and then I did the bass and saxophone, and then I had my dad do a drum track. So
Nice.
I can see your sax in the back there. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. I have a sax here, but that's not my main instrument. There he is. That's me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Man of culture.
Yes.
Anyways,
yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that music, to be honest. But
Yeah, the music is very good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening.
Yeah, I'm especially impressed too by the sound effects. I'm just gonna come back to that for a second because the thing that I love, I don't even know why, but in a game, if a game has good sound effects, like I don't even care about the story or the game. I'm just like messing around with the buttons, and it just feels so good. It's like tactile. So the results screen, whenever I was hearing those like little points click, I was like, oh, that's perfect. So amazing. Yeah.
It's originally supposed to be for a flashlight that I didn't implement to like show it would like reveal something if the socket's below something, but I thought that would take a while and I didn't think it would work very well. So I just put it for the points thing because I'm like, oh, it's just a nice pleasant click, so I'll just put it there.
So I want to point out, I've been playing it for a minute here, and twice now I've gotten 6,000 points because the socket was immediately visible at the start.
It was? I never had that happen.
I've had it happen twice. I should have taken a screenshot of one of them. But the other thing is, you can click on the grenade twice if you're quick. Yep, as long as the explosion's there, you can keep clicking on it.
I swear I disabled that collider, but I guess not.
Anyways,
So it looks like some opportunity for more playtesting and refinement.
Yeah.
And maybe you could even have like multiple levels where you have like you maybe even start off with a small engine and go to a larger engine and a larger engine.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things we had thought about, but
it just wouldn't have fit into the time frame.
Yeah.
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 We even thought of. I think we thought of like we were originally gonna do like a little slideshow at the start, just to kind of introduce it, but there
Yeah.
just wasn't enough. I
Kind of like a
no, I
cutscene
didn't
type
enough
thing.
time to draw it, and he didn't have enough time to program it.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I think I've said this with every game today. Excellent job. I loved the care that went into that. That was just exceptional. Does anybody else have any comments or questions for these developers?
No, not particularly. Not for me.
All right. Well, big thank you to all for joining us for today's Global Game Jam closing ceremony. It looks like Professor Akram has a little bit to show you guys, so I'll let her take it away.
Quickly share that you don't have to in these games here. You can continue on. We are hosting the Computer Simulation and Gaming Conference. This will be April 16th and 17th. And the deadline to enter in the competition is March 31st. And if you go to competitions, you can see we have different categories. So you can continue, like I said, working on these games and submitting these games to either any one of our categories. So we have our digital games category, but we also have a game assets category. So even if your team decides maybe they don't feel like finishing up the game, if you worked on any of like the digital art assets or even the sound assets, you can submit those as an individual game assets submission and showing off your artwork and how you contributed to the game. And the same thing goes with sound. So you can submit as an individual to the game assets category, or you can submit a whole game under the digital games category as well. So we want to encourage you all to continue and working on these games and the opportunity to submit to our competition. And we will announce the winners on the second day of the conference, which will be April 17th. And we have a category for all individuals, whether you're middle school, high school, college, indie professional. We have a category for you.
Cool. And
that's right.
You said you don't have to, unless, I'm sorry, I'm kind of spaced out. You don't have to be in Tulsa University to do that?
Yeah, it's open to anywhere, all around the nation.
Is it free to be an entry?
Yes, it is free. The entire event is free, and the conference part will also have like speakers and presenters who will be speaking on different tools, techniques, Q&A sessions. And those of you who have experience in any one of the industries or just maybe a tutorial lesson, we do have a call for speakers out right now as well. So that's another opportunity and a way to participate in the event.
Ooh. I was going to ask, do you know any of the people who are going to like speak at the event right now? Do you have any sneak peek presenters that you have lined up right now?
Well, we're still working on that list and still working on contacting a few folks, but right now we don't want to say too much right now. But there is opportunities if you would like to speak. There's still slots open, and the registration is live. So if you do want to go ahead and register as a participant, or if you want to register as a competitor, you can do that right now. You don't have to submit your entries until the 31st of March. But you can go ahead and sign up now.
31st of March. That's good to know. So yes, definitely be on the lookout for that. Can we drop a link to register for that into this chat? I don't have it on me right now. Great. Thank you so much. And by the way, I believe later in the day we'll be archiving these channels here, so that if you want to come back and show your game off, they'll still be here in this channel. We use this for our game jams whenever we put them on. So, is that everything that we wanted to mention today? Do you have anything else to mention?
I think that was it. I think all of you have done an excellent job given the time frame, and to our hosts for doing an excellent job keeping the show moving and everything. This again was the first time that we've done this virtually, and we'd love to hear just in the chats and some of your thoughts and how we can keep this going for next year, and if you have any suggestions and ways to make it improve it, whether you'd like to see us back on campus or whether you'd like to still have a virtual element to this event.
Yeah, please let us know your feedback and just post it in the chat, and we'll take that into consideration for next year. But thank you all for joining us this year. I hope it was fun and maybe educational too, because I think this is a skill we all appreciate and enjoy, and might be able to apply in our lives. So thank you for joining us today. Be proud of what you've made. It's stunning. It really is. I didn't work on a game this weekend. You guys did. You guys put in all the hard work. So congratulations. And thanks for coming to Global Game Jam 2021. I hope to see you guys all again very soon.